Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020 Career Mode episode 116. We're at the Giro d'Italia. It's stage number 7. We're riding for a top 5 overall finish as one of our primary objectives of the year. And our man, Pavel Rodriguez, currently sits in 4th place through the early stages of this one, but the real climbing, of course, is still to come. So there's so much yet to come in this race, where it is really just getting started. One thing of note, Rodriguez not on a fitness peak, not approaching a fitness peak, not an objective. Reason being is the Giro and the Tour fall in that same window. The Tour is the objective. That's when we should expect to see his fitness peak and see him riding at his best. This stage, other than the climb we're hitting right now, is just 2 short punchy climbs at the finish. It's very much 4 punchers today, and I don't expect too many riders to get dropped on this climb. You can see the pace is definitely pretty high, 78, not doing enough. We'll try 83 here to make sure we don't drift back too quickly, especially for like a Kevin Vermark, who has a great chance of winning today's stage. He does have a good race day condition, +3, 74 mountain rating today should be enough to get him through this climb without much of an issue. De Mello is tired, Killen's tired, Gazzoli's tired. There will be some riders drop from this peloton, but not a lot. We're already approaching about the halfway point on this climb. 3.3k to go to the top. Yeah, these guys are not going to make it that long. Johnson, go ahead and relax, go solo. We're seeing a small attack group here, but how much of that is for the KOM points? Probably the majority of that. Rubio, Hershey, Ciccone lead that classification in the early stages of this race. Breakaway group's done. It's back together, 132 riders. Killen was dropped. That's it, though. That's it. The others are still in there. Gazzoli somehow has survived that climb. Killen's -5 just destroyed him today, but Carlos de Mello, Gazzoli, both recovering a little bit. They're not going to be of use later, I don't expect, but it might give us a little bit of a lead out. Final 30k. Those last 2 climbs are definitely steep. You're going to need a decent mountain rating to get through that. Vermark's going to be at the end of the line. We'll kind of ride for Rodriguez for the stage, and then Vermark will be there and go for the stage win if he can, but we'll ultimately ride for Rodriguez right in front of him. A lot of it's back together. 155 riders now in the peloton. Killen's group made it back on. He has not recovered at all, but Gazzoli, Carlos de Mello, actually fairly well recovered as we approach the final 13k, and we're going to go ahead and get this thing going. So Vermark to follow Rodriguez. Rodriguez on a -1, again with no bonuses. We're going to see this. So far through 7 stages, there's been a couple sprint stages, but every active stage we've had, he's been at a 0 or a negative throughout. He's due some minor positives. He's at 94% with 0 fatigue. And the only reason why he's at 94% was we backed off on his training a little bit to make sure he had no fatigue entering this race. So his fitness was down just a little bit. That's going to rebound after this first week. Presumably tomorrow or something like that, he'll hit the new week, and that should rebound into the high 90s and maybe pick this up a little bit on a regular basis. Okay, who to follow? Millar, I think, is going to be the main guy we want to get behind. He's an 80.77 today. Looking even better than Rodriguez, but of course we're ready for that overall. Again, is going to be wonderful help. And Johnson's looking pretty good as well. And then, of course, the only other climber is Carlos de Mello. So, well, besides Kellen, Killen does not count today. We'll use him to get the moves going. These first three guys have used up all their gels. 13K. This is a good time to actually put a hurting in on everybody, because I'm imagining a lot of teams are not full strength. And we could actually open our chances of creating some splits and surprising a few teams by making the final 11K quite difficult. Killen's done. On to Gazzoli. Gazzoli's energy not lasting terribly quick, considering he's only doing a 94. He's giving us about 3K. Alright, on to Carlos de Mello. We're going to use Johnson's gel now, and the others, we're going to be getting to them pretty soon. We're approaching the climb. So the real action is about to begin. The nice thing is we're in that prime position right now. Nobody even thinking about coming up beside us right now. Vermark is well and truly clear. Alright, Carlos de Mello is done. And we're close enough to the end we can gel up for everybody else. On to Johnson. After him is where we're going to start getting pretty punchy. Again, Millar, Rodriguez, Vermark. Let's start to attack over the top. Three guys try to go early and strong and do something about the punchiness. They're not going to have a whole lot left in the tank now.
And evolution doesn't seem to favor those in the rear. There's a growing list of riders left behind.
Johnson, what can you do?
And there goes the mad burst for the final sprint.
He can open the gap. 1K to go. Again across the road. Oh, no. Somebody's going clear on that side. And for Mark, I think is kind of out of space. Nowhere to go for Vermark. He'll get third, though. Bernal takes the stage. Hershey second. Vermark gets third. Millar was fourth. Rodriguez 10th.
The riders bringing up their rear have made it.
I think the difference between Millar and Rodriguez was about one wheel. Very tightly packed at the top. Large peloton. Large chase groups. I don't think you'll get any splits to tell back here. Meaning not too many riders lost any sort of time today. After a sprint stage, stage 9 is very similar to stage 1 other than the length. It's an individual time trial. It's the second of 3 in this tour as we wrap up the tour with another time trial.
The rider crossing the line is credited with the best time so far.
And then the distance is the main thing. The first one was prologue. It was 7K. This one is 37K. So we're adding 37 or 30 kilometers to the length of this one as we wrap up in San Marino. Now, moments ago, I had 3 riders in the top 10. I'm down to 2 of those, but I have thus far been able to figure out the balance fairly effectively in how hard to ride initially, where you're going to lose a little bit of time over the course on the flat, but having the ability to push in the mountain really makes a huge difference in the time on this one. But it's similarly, so many riders are coming up short. They're getting into the final 2 kilometers with nothing left and just crashing and losing multiple minutes. So Millar here should be able to push about a 72. You can see that Andrade has ultimately caught up to him. He's a weak time trialist. But his 81 mountain today should. Andrade right now pushing pretty hard, but Millar will make that up. Now, for Mark, on the other hand, not much of a time trialist or a climber, so it's going to be a rough day for him, but he should be able to push about a 71. Rodriguez, of course, the main one we're going to be watching after, hoping that he can replicate a top 10 time like DeMello or Ginn, maybe even higher than where they are. I'm surprised that Millar has been passed by Andrade. What is Andrade? 82 mountain, 69 time trial. Okay, stronger at both. No wonder. Millar sitting 38th overall. Not a lot left for the finish. Andrade is definitely going to have one of the top times. Looks like Andrade's on a positive race day condition of sorts. See, Millar is actually going to be the first one that I have that's going to... Oh, right before the finish. 50 meters. He lost 2 or 3 seconds is all, so actually that's timed relatively well. Only 30th for him. Not a great time, but again, poor time trialist to be expected. You can see that for Mark, as bad as he is, he's passing Cosnefroy. That's surprising, ultimately. But 64th for him, and Rodriguez ready to set off. 81 on the time trial today, 82 in the mountains. He should be good for both, so we'll try to make sure he doesn't lose much time on the flat, but can still go pretty strong at the finish, so 71. We might go 72 partway through. Buchmann has the top time right now. Bjerg, 5th. Dumoulin there, 7th.
The best provisional time has just been beaten.
Reader just went top. 56.24 is the time to beat. And Rodriguez already conserving a little bit of energy. Not too far off. He's a half-minute down. But again, a lot of those are good time trialists who are not climbers. And they're not balancing both. They're pushing hard on the flat and then just losing time in the climb. We should be able to balance the two. Ginn down to 18th now. Carlos DeMello down to 14th. Killen, who was in the top 10 a while ago, now down to 26th as we're getting into a lot of good climbers now. All right, coming up on that second checkpoint. Still just 24th, so Rodriguez not losing any time on the guys behind him. 16th, minute 26, a little further back, but he's got lots of time, so we're going to be able to push this. 72. Safonov just went top. Let's see, we're making up ground in front of us, and Rodriguez should be able to push pretty hard from here. We're actually going to up this a little bit, 73 now. With that 82 mountain rating, he's going pretty quick. 22 kilometers per hour at 7%. Sivakov just went top. 54.38. He's a minute 44 clear. Okay, we're back up to that 71 again. All right, final push. I think we can push about a 74, 75 through here. 1.8K. See just how much time we're making up ahead of us. Rivera. Third place as of right now for Rodriguez. Evenepoel went second at 57. Here's McNulty. McNulty 7th, minute 55. We're going to gain some time on him. And here is Bernal, main contender for this race overall. Not great time trialist. He definitely lost some time. He ends up 3:05. We gained 2 minutes on Bernal. Yermakov, current race leader, minute 20 behind us. This is a great result for Rodriguez. Podium on the stage. And he is going to move into the race lead, I think. Unless Sivakov was less than a minute off, which is certainly possible. Rodriguez definitely had 4 seconds on Evenepoel. Oh, Sivakov did. Okay, so Sivakov leads overall, but Rodriguez currently podium, 30 seconds down. Evenepoel 44. You got to figure that Evenepoel, a good climber but not great climber, is going to drift at some point. Barrow, same. McNulty, still main challenger. But, wow. Great result there. That's going to really give us an advantage going forward. Sivakov put in an amazing time. You got to figure he was probably on a +5 today. So we've moved ahead to stage 12 now after some sprint stages. And this is an interesting one. It's more difficult than it looks on paper. A few reasons for it. One, this short little punchy spike right there, really short spike, it's also the finishing spike, or at least almost. But it's also cobblestone. Very short, only 1 star, shouldn't impact anything. But at least on paper, having cobblestone show up with our leader, who is a 67 cobble rating, was scary entering this one. Now that we're here, now that it's loaded, now that I've seen that it's 1 star and extremely short, I can take some relief in that. Not worry about it too much. There is this difficult Category 1 climb that will damage the field a bit. It's not going to be an easy one. It's 15% in areas, 10% average, 8.5 kilometers. That will decimate the field. Vermark is not going to be, and actually I should probably just switch this. Vermark's not going to be around for this. If he had a +3, +4 maybe, but a 71 mountain, not going to make it over the top of that. So let's switch this strategy up. We've got either Millar, yes, definitely Millar. So the Millar, go ahead and relax. Let's get Mello to protect you.
The lead over the pack is dwindling.
Vermark to protect again. Also, this is a short stage today, and we're about to hit it first time.
There are 2 schools of thought on riding cobbled sections. Some will try to stay in the middle, while others will take to the sides, practically on the grass.
Small 3-man break that attacked through here, and they open up 40 seconds over the Peloton compared to what they had a moment ago, which was just a minute. We got everybody through there, no problem. We're down to 50K.
We're into the last third of the race.
And we'll go ahead and get water final time here before we approach the big climb of the day. 107 left in the Peloton, or at least right now.
Can create some gaps.
All right, a lot of guys are not going to make it over the top of this one. Let's start preparing them. So Gazzoli will be the first to go. Killen, not a -5 today, but it's a -1. Rodriguez has a -1, but he should be okay. Should. 160 in the Peloton right now. That's a number that will come down. But I figure a lot of riders will get over the top okay. Mark hanging in there so far. 5K left to go in the climb. Just 1 rider left in the break. Down to 1:15, halfway through the climb now. Surprisingly, it's actually not that difficult right now.
Oh, the list of those left behind goes on rising.
Costamello, a little late to use his gel. There goes Gazzoli. The steepness can lead to some issues.
Counterattack by Eduardo
Sepulveda, Ciccone going. That's for KOM points.
This climb features some dreadful percentages.
Just before the top, Gazzoli and Carlos de Mello get dropped. Looks like Carlos de Mello will make it back on. Gazzoli, on the other hand, I think he's too far back. But Carlos de Mello's group should latch back on to the Peloton quite soon. They're actually already getting credit for that, even though they're not yet in contact. One EF rider and one Movistar rider in the gap is somehow calculating this all together. Ooh, now this group, surprisingly, actually the gap just opened. Big time. So let's focus up here. 48 riders, I like that. 23K to go. And just 48 here in the Peloton. This would be a great opportunity if we can keep up the pace as we so far are. One rider still away that we got to chase down to go for the stage. Sprint point coming up, and there aren't going to be sprinters left going for it. This could be an opportunity to grab some time. Let's go ahead and sprint train now then. We want to get 3K. We only need one lead out rider. So we're going to go ahead and put Rodriguez behind Killen, and then we'll drop him to the back. From Mark. Alright, Killen to lead out Rodriguez here. And then I want Rodriguez. Two seconds.
There are just 50.
Alright, we're still chasing down one more rider. That's Ciccone. Ciccone, who went away to get KOM points, where he's third in that classification, stayed away, at least for the time being. So we're going to make sure we try to get back at
The
him.
pack is increasing its work rate. Some teams can't be happy with the breakaway.
Lars slowly bringing that back. He won't stay away too long. 11K to go. It's a good little distance to cover to try to push too hard, so that's why we're staying at just an 88 for now. And you can see shoulders bobbing really bad. He's done. He's toast. Okay, let's get Johnson ready. 7.7K. This is keeping it hard with the Peloton, so a lot of riders are not making it back. Some remade contact with 6K to go, but they're going to be exhausted in this chase. And 6K is just about the time to start getting everyone to gel up.
5 kilometers to the finish line.
5K to go now. Really time to start speeding things up. 4K to go. Alright, here we go. Here comes the other teams. And here comes the cobbled section. So Johnson attacking onto Denny Ginn. Ginn pushing through. Rodriguez, he's okay. 2.3K. That's it for Ginn. Onto Vermark. 2.2K.
There goes the sprint. The strong men are giving their all. Now the guys
0.7K.
serious questions of the riders in the rear as more of them are
Okay,
left
gaps
in the wake.
open as Ginn and Vermark go clear. Rodriguez, 1.2K, can now attack. Johnson attacking. Can we hang on for a stage win? It looks like we can. Vermark's going to take it. Ginn's going to grab second. Oh my gosh, he is so strong. He gets third. Rodriguez fourth. Johnson fifth. So we get 4 of the top 5 positions. But Bernal is going to be tough to beat in this race. He's looking so good. I think he's on the fitness peak for this one because again and again we're seeing him open up gaps over everybody else. We had gaps behind us. I don't know if there will be any time gaps given. It'd be really nice if there are some. We do see some time gaps for Mark and Ginn, first of all. They get 10 seconds. That's unimportant. Bernal's going to get 4 seconds bonus, Rodriguez, Johnson in the next group, but that's only to 15th, meaning a lot of riders lose a little bit of time. 39 seconds. Okay, half minute. That's not a lot, but we gain half minute over some contenders. Palace loses time. McNulty, Bookman, Sivakov losing time today. Plenty of competitors. Rivera, who was, 5th overall just a couple days ago. Champison's group at 31 are 58 seconds behind. And then a minute 12, minute 20. So how does this impact the overall? Rodriguez now is going to be in the leader's jersey. This is good for our sponsorship. Even if we don't end up finishing top 5, wearing the leader's jersey is going to be a real plus. Sivakov now trails by a single second. Still could be the favorite in this one. Barrow, 36 seconds behind in the last podium spot. And then it's now a minute gap to Yermakov. McNulty, just about a minute and a half. Venepol's starting to slip behind. Bernal at a minute 50. That's big. That time trial part, we gained a lot of time on Bernal there. Rivera slipping back. Valter is only up here because of the previous stage was a sprint stage, but a small breakaway group ended up finishing, and they were so far down on time that they ended up getting 5 minutes. He was the only one who was even remotely close in the overall, so he moved up quite a bit. Latour rounds out the top 10, but gaps are already starting to grow in certain places. Certain key riders are out of contention. This is really good for us. I mean, there's still, I'd say, down through about Bernal. It's going to be tough down through about Bernal. But 2 minutes, that's nice. We're really just looking at a handful of guys now. And a handful is 5. And a handful is what I need to be in, top 5. Right now, I could start thinking about podium. It's only stage 12, and there's a lot of climbing to do. And again, Rodriguez, no fitness bonus, no objective bonuses, and he's had a lot of -1s. A lot of -1s in this race. He's had I didn't even look terribly close that time trial. I think he might have had a +1 that day. But time trials are notoriously hard to, you have to look very directly in that place. And of course, if you're trying to record and commentate at the same time, and you got a microphone blocking part of the screen, you don't necessarily see all of that. But normally it's in that upper left corner. It's not there on the time trials. It's down in that bottom corner. Couple things. We're going to wrap this episode up here. We're almost 2/3 of the way through this race, but the big climbing stages are ahead of us and coming very, very soon. Taking a look at that briefly, it starts on the next stage. We have 6 climbing stages over the final 9 stages. There's only one sprint stage left, so the real action of this tour is now ahead of us. One more time trial right at the end is good for my chances. Even though I have the leader's jersey right now, that just points to we've had a brilliant 12 stages. With the big climbing ones to go, there's a few things. One, my resistance is good, but not great. Rodriguez we're talking about here. His climbing is definitely good, 82, but not great. There's 83s, there's 84s, there's 85s. My support climbers are good, but not great. We will be competitive. We are not going to do horribly. But my chances of winning, very, very slim. Chances of getting into the podium, getting 3rd place, it's possible. Chances of staying in the top 5, though, especially looking at the times, I think that is very good. I think we've got a really good shot of staying top 5. I think we've got a small shot at staying top 3. I wouldn't say it's a 0% chance of winning. We do have the leader's jersey, but without the objective, without the fitness peak bonuses, I don't like our chances. I really don't like our chances. I mean, next stage, we could be out of the leader's jersey. It could be a one-day thing. But top 5, I definitely like our chances, especially the first half of this race, the way that shaped up. Okay, next thing. I have a new series coming, Pro Cycling Manager. It is another career mode. There's a couple things about it. I'm not giving away all the details yet. I may, depending on how well it does, I might sacrifice 1 day a week on this series, but as of now, it's staying at 4. The other one's going to pick up probably at 3 days a week. The Pro Cyclist series is going to wrap up this week and come to an end. That new series is going to start next Tuesday. Now, the one detail I'll give away here is I'm going to be using the 2021 database. Okay, that's the first giveaway on that. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.